Why did humans everywhere begin speaking to invisible powers? Were gods born from ignorance or from problems no tribe could survive without solving? And did belief become one of humanity's first technologies of fear, death, weather, luck, and order? Humans did not invent gods because they were stupid. They invented gods because fear needed a shape, death needed an answer, weather needed a negotiator, luck needed a pattern, morality needed a witness, power needed a language, and the invisible world needed a mind behind it. Imagine the first human night before cities, before writing, before science, before calendars. The forest moved, thunder spoke overhead. A child became sick for no visible reason. A hunter died while another survived by chance. The human brain is built to search for agency. If grass moves, it is safer to assume a predator than wind. That reflex can save your life, but it also makes the world feel watched, loaded with intention, full of hidden causes. So the first religious question may not have been academic, it may have been practical. Who is doing this to us and what do they want? That question turns fear into negotiation. Death was the hardest problem. An animal dies and the group moves on. But humans remember faces, names, promises, debts, and voices. The dead remain present inside memory, even when the body is gone. Archaeologists find burials, pigments, ornaments, and careful treatment of bodies across deep human time. The Smithsonian Human Origins program treats burial and symbolic behavior as part of the evidence that humans were not only surviving, they were making meaning. A grave changes death from disappearance into relationship. Food, red ochre, shells, beads, or tools placed with the body do not prove one single belief, but they show that the dead were being treated as more than waste. Then came the sky. Rain could rescue a harvest or destroy it. Drought could starve children. Lightning could kill from nowhere. If the sky had moods, then maybe it could be thanked, feared, angered, or persuaded. This does not mean early people were foolish. It means they were human. When a force is powerful, unpredictable, and invisible until it strikes, the mind naturally gives it a face. Luck was another invisible power. Two hunters follow the same tracks. One returns with meat, one returns injured. Before statistics, randomness feels like a message. Ritual gives luck a handle. A charm before the hunt, a song before the storm, a dance before planting, an offering before battle. These acts do not control the universe in a mechanical way, but they control panic. They synchronize people. They make uncertainty bearable. That is why ritual spaces matter. At Göbekli Tepe, in modern Turkey, monumental stone circles rose before pottery, before writing, and long before the first empires. UNESCO describes it as a major Neolithic site of ritual architecture. The point is not that Göbekli Tepe explains every god. It does not. The point is that humans invested enormous labour in sacred places before states could force them with taxes and police. A sacred place is a machine for attention. It gathers bodies in one direction. It tells a group. This matters more than hunger today, more than private fear, more than one person's doubt. Gods also help scale morality. In a tiny band, everyone knows who lies, steals, or breaks a promise. In a growing village, strangers need a reason to trust each other when no human witness is present. A god who sees hidden actions changes the social game. It makes private behaviour public in the imagination. It says the oath matters even in darkness, even far from the campfire. Researchers debate exactly when moralizing gods became important, and no serious history reduces all religion to one function. But across many societies, divine witness and social order became deeply connected. In early cities, gods became part of administration. Temples stored grain, organised labour, recorded offerings, and anchored authority. The divine was no longer only in caves and storms. It was built into walls, tablets, and institutions. The British Museum's Mesopotamian collections show a world where gods, kings, offerings, temples, and written records were intertwined. Religion was not separate from economics or politics. It was one of the languages of public life. This is where belief can become social control. If a ruler is chosen by a god, rebellion becomes not only political but cosmic. If a law is sacred, breaking it threatens more than the victim. It threatens the order of the world. That sounds dangerous because it can be. Sacred authority can protect communities, but it can also protect elites. The same technology that coordinates a group can be used to command it. But reducing religion to manipulation would also be wrong. For ordinary people, gods gave grief a place to go. They gave gratitude a form. They made the dead reachable, the sky speakable, and suffering less silent. Look at figurines, animal images, cave paintings, and hybrid beings in ancient art. They are not simple cartoons. They show humans thinking with symbols, mixing bodies, powers, memories, and fears into visible forms. An anthropomorphic figure can do something a storm cannot. It can look back, it can want, it can remember. Once invisible forces have personality, humans can tell stories about them, argue with them, and pass them to children. Stories are survival tools. A myth can encode where not to go, what not to eat, when to plant, whom to marry, why to share, and what happens when pride breaks the balance. This is the primitive hook. Before gods were theology, they were answers to human pressure, predator pressure, weather pressure, death pressure, social pressure, the pressure of being conscious in a world that does not explain itself. That does not settle whether gods are real. Archaeology cannot answer that question. It can only show what belief did inside human life. It organized attention, fear, memory, power, morality, and hope. So why did humans invent gods? Because the world was too dangerous to feel random, too painful to leave the dead silent, too social to trust only private conscience, and too mysterious not to become a story. In that sense, gods were among humanity's earliest bridges between the visible and the invisible. Not just explanations, but relationships. Not just control, but comfort. Not just power, but meaning shared around the fire. And once humans learned to speak to invisible minds, civilization changed. The campfire became a shrine. The shrine became a temple. The temple became a city. And the question in the darkness became one of the oldest questions we still ask.